Warriors introduced Mark Jackson as their new head coach. And as it turned out, Joe Lacob and the entire front office spent a month trying to see if anyone could top the man they interviewed first.
I didn't want to sound like a groupie, so I didn't want to text them too much and say, what's going on? I'm hearing other names and seeing they having other relationships, and I took it personally.
Jackson knows the Warriors took a risk by hiring a man without coaching experience, but he insists that being a point guard for 17 seasons in the NBA has prepared him for this role.
Because people said to me, why do you think you're qualified? Why do you think you can be a head coach? First of all, I've been an extension of a coach my entire life playing. Second of all, I know exactly what I know, and I know what I don't know.
This guy is exactly what I envision as a coach. He's a leader. He's a leader. It's the first thing that hits you when you meet with Mark Jackson.
While the interview process was professional with the team's owners, the fan came out in Jackson when he met Jerry West.
But there was a little kid in me still mad at Mr. Clutch, still upset because I was a New York Knicks fan, man, and I watched a lot of the damage that he put on to guys that I looked up to. So it was a side of me that I was doing the interview, but at the same time, I just wanted to high-five him and hug him because he was a bad man.
The Warriors have been one of the best offensive teams in the league the past few seasons, but if they want to get back to the playoffs, Jackson knows he has to get them to focus on defense.
We're not going to accept mediocrity. We're not going to accept not getting it done on the floor. We're going to hold each other and this team to a different standard, and we're going to be professionals, and it's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a beautiful time, so you might as well latch on to the back of the bandwagon because things be changing here in the Bay Area.
As for the offense, well, Jackson still expects them to push the ball, but don't count on him using any of his trademark cliches in the playbook.
There will be no play called Mama, There Goes That Man. There will be no defense called Hand Down, Man Down.
Coach Jackson taking his talents to the Bay Area. Coach Jackson, do you like the way that sounds?
I do, actually. When I'm walking with Jeff Van Gundy and somebody says, Coach, I keep on walking, and he stops, and they go, no, the other guy. I'm like, oh, man. So it's new, but it's exciting, and I'm thrilled.
Now, I'm going to ask you to put your analyst hat back on for a minute. Mark Jackson is coaching his first NBA game as a head coach. What do you say about him in the open?
Great hire, interesting hire, risk, but a gutsy play. And I applaud the ownership and the front office of the Golden State Warriors organization by not going the easy route, by being daring enough and confident enough to take a chance when all the stats and the odds say it's not a chance.
What did you say to ownership? You brought it up, no coaching experience. What did you say to them to convince them that you were the guy for the job?
Well, pretty much like what Joe said. I have experience. Now, if you want to talk about head coaching experience, that's different. But if you're talking about basketball experience, I have it. And I believe I'm qualified because I put the time in. And every coach I've ever played for, I've been an extension of him on the court. I was born a leader, and this is a platform that I fully embrace, and I'm looking forward to coaching this young, dynamic team.
What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for you now making the transition to head coach? What do you think?
To me, it's never having coached before. The challenge is making sure I continue to do the same things that I did as a player, as an analyst, and in everything in my life. Continuing to work hard and continuing to progress and get better every single day.
Earlier this week, you said you expect the Warriors to make the playoffs. As you initially look at the roster, I know you haven't had a lot of time to do that. What do you think, and just analyze the roster for me, and what additions do you think you guys need to make that happen, the playoffs?
I think if you look at this team last year, one thing is you look at the bench, and the bench can be improved upon. You certainly have a high-scoring backcourt that everybody's well aware of. You have an all-star caliber forward in David Lee. You have a guy in Darrell Wright that had an exceptional year, proven that he's a star in this league. Certainly some very, very bright pieces, and now is about adding some other pieces and moving forward. The luxury of having the 11th pick in the draft, we look forward to getting somebody that's going to be an impact player and able to help this basketball team. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
As a former player, I know you can understand what Monte and Steph Curry have been going through the media saying, oh, they can't win with the two of those guys on the team, small backcourt, all this kind of stuff. What do you say to those guys to ensure kind of their security? Because it seems like they both want to stay here and play for you as well.
All I can do is be truthful to them. And in my conversations with both of those guys, I told them how excited I am to have the opportunity to coach them. They're two outstanding young basketball players that can do a lot of damage on the basketball court and put me in a position to look like an awfully good basketball coach. So I embrace those guys, and I look forward to coaching them. And I truly, like I said to them, I want them to be in Warriors uniforms.
Obviously, Steph Curry's not going to be backing down point guards like you did, but what can we expect to see from a Mark Jackson offense?
Well, high-scoring offense, a lot of freedom, putting the ball in the right guys' hands and allowing those guys to be playmakers. Not a license to shoot, but a license to make the play. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, we're going to really miss you not being in the booth. You're going to have to sprinkle in some of those hand down, man down, and mama, there goes that man into your press conferences. You think you can do that for us?
If they play good enough, I'll do that and some.
Good deal. Congratulations, Coach Jackson, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Still to come on Game Day, Lincecum and Wilson have nothing on Giants hitting coach Bam Bam Newlands.
Obviously, the guys are thinking that I'm kind of crazy by doing it anyways, but, you know, somebody's got to do it, I guess.
Why Newlands was selected to go on a trip that is truly out of this world.